would like to explain what I am trying to achieve here. Usually, when I go into a collage and I have an idea, that doesn't always end well for me. So it's best that I just let the ephemera speak and tell me which way it wants to go. But what I want to accomplish, perhaps, is making something of a Griffin type of creature, something mythological. I liked this background, and it kind of will be convenient for the cheetah body. I was actually looking for something where the cheetah, or I don't know if this is a cheetah, leopard, uh, some type of feline animal sitting up straight where I could attach a human head. So I'm going to go through. I have two Harper Bazaars that I can go through and see if I can find a feminine head to fit on my cheetah. Again, I'm not thrilled with the way the cheetah is positioned, but I do like that it's kind of on a curve and it would fit here. So we're talking about something that's looks like it's going to be pretty minimal. And I liked this. I thought maybe using it as like a halo of sorts. Remember, I like that saints theme. I love playing with saints and whatnot, and this might be in that category. I'm not sure. So I'm going to go on, look for some more ephemera, see what's going to measure up with our cheetah so we can make the perfect Griffin. Here's the challenge with a piece like this. So I got my cheetah, got the body, and I went through the two Harper Bazaars and tore out the images that I would like to use, or I'm definitely going to use in a collage. Maybe not this one, but I want to give myself, again, many options before I commence. I like this one because of the black and white imagery going on, but this is where size does matter, and you have to take a chance maybe and see if it'll fit. The thing is, the way her head is, she is very straight, so I don't think it's going to work. Plus, if I use her head, I want to cut that out maybe, because I like the way he's framed in the picture too. Richard Avedon, by the way. So not going to use it for this collage. Off to the side you go. I really love this one. I think her head too, just like the previous image, is too straight, and I think I need a head that's going to kind of be at an angle. I mean, I could do it that way. It would just look maybe a little odd. The thing is, when I finally make a decision, I have to cut my cheetah's head, and I'm going to have to cut my model's head, take that risk, and maybe lose the image as a result. And her head also, I want to cut it out perfectly because I will use this body for another collage. So she's a maybe, and she goes into another pile off to the side. This one I adore, but we have the same issue because she is straight up and down. I think it may be too much. I don't think it's going to work, unfortunately. Here's another one. Yeah, we have the same problem. Put that off to the side. Why are all these models so straight, up and down? It doesn't work. It might, but this one definitely could be a possibility. She's kind of at a tilt. Put that off to the side. This one, I think for sure, might work actually very well because it's already looking like a Griffin right there. So that's a big possibility. You know what? I mean, she's a gorgeous person, but I just feel she's a little boring. I'll use it for another one. This one also. Oh, this one too. I really like this one because her hair is at an angle, so I might use it for that. So these are the runners up. And the problem is now I do have to make the sacrifice. I have to cut it's these full ones that I have a problem with, and I have to cut my cheetah. I have to cut his head off, or her head. And I can just do that with my scissors here, because the rest of this will go also, and I need to see where I want to cut. Maybe I want it right there. I'll go ahead and do a very careful cut. Make sure, I don't want to cut too much. I'd rather cut less than cut too much, because I can always go back and fix it. And this part of the cheetah's body too will be pretty easy to cut with the scissors. It's the negative space between limbs that I need to get out the X-Acto, which is right behind me. I'm just lazy right now, and I'm not getting up to fetch my X-Acto. I'm going to keep this tree for now. It will be cut because I do want to place it on that other image background, maybe. I've been playing with backgrounds a lot lately, using watercolor. Love watercolor, but probably not for this one. I think I want to use a found image for it instead of creating my own watercolor background. I've got plenty of time to do that. So let's, all right, got the cheetah cut. That is good. Now I need to do the careful cuts with the X-Acto, and I will do that in time lapse for you. Hear you saying, why are you doing this crazy fussy cutting? I don't know. I thought about actually scanning this sunflower into Photoshop and dealing with it from there, but I also knew I was going to run into trouble with Photoshop and the magic wand tool. There are other tools in the updated version of Photoshop that could probably help me, but I have not had the time to explore them. So I'm just doing it the analog way, and I'm cutting these crazy petals. I don't even know if I'm going to use this for the collage. I want to, because I think it has almost like a lion's mane going on, even though our Griffin has a cheetah body. So what I'm doing is using the scissors as much as I can to cut around the edges of this crazy flower. And I'm going to come back in with the X-Acto and cut the little areas that need to be cut out. I have the blue background. What I also did was some of that tucking. Her neck she is actually perfect for the cheetah's body, the way her head is, the way her neck was tilted. So I did a tuck and cut, or a cut and tuck, and just taped it on the back there. I'm going to do the same with this purpley blue background. I made the cut here so I could tuck the body in. We don't have to worry about it like hanging over, maybe looking uneven, and it will also help with the legs resting on this strange little track. I feel like I could almost put it, tape it on right now and just commit to it, because it looks fine. I like the way it is. And I really like this coin acting as something of a halo, where maybe the word Liberty, that's not going to be the title of the collage, because I think I already did a Liberty titled collage. Well, there's nothing wrong with saying Liberty too. But she is a Griffin, and I'm probably going to title this piece as Griffin. What I wanted to do with this sunflower was put it also as the background for this Griffin with our Liberty coin. That's my thinking out loud here for you guys. And I thought it would look good. Yeah, maybe before I do all that crazy cutting, I need to decide if I even want to use it. I like that there's another element going on, but then this doesn't look bad by itself either. I just feel like I need to do something more. Do I really? I don't know. I thought about cutting out the whites of her eyes so the gold comes through. Maybe I'll do that just to make myself feel like I did something extra. This is a fun little technique if you feel you want to add something more to your collage, you want to put your hand on it some more. You don't have to by any means, of course. I've seen a couple collage artists doing this, and I really like the effect. Because again, the eyes and the human face are something we are always looking for, we are always drawn to. And when you deviate from what we are used to, that's what makes collage absurd and so interesting. I think we got that. Yeah, I really like the way that's coming out so far. I may just skip all that crazy, unfun fussy cutting. Fussy cutting's great when it's fun. This one I think might be a little tedious, and I don't know if I want to do it all. And if that's the case, then this is going to be a pretty quick collage to me anyway. Let's just go ahead and make it simple. Let's not put ourselves through any more agony. I'm going to go ahead and commit our Griffin girl with some tape. She's just tucked out a little bit here. I really love this technique because you're not using a lot of adhesive. You're just using packing tape, which is clean. It doesn't buckle like glue does. Glue doesn't necessarily have to buckle. The reason it does for me is because I'm very heavy-handed with glue, and I try not to do that. Yeah, see, this that looks interesting. And it also looks kind of, it's just cleaner. It's way cleaner. There's nothing wrong with, wanting to add something extra. Let me go ahead and commit this also. And for this, I think I'm going to use my good old double-sided tape. Boy, everybody, double-sided tape. It took me a long time to discover this. And why? The first time I ever purchased double-sided tape was in New York City this past August. I wanted to do a collage. I went to a art store. This was all I could find because I didn't feel like buying glue. Got the double-sided tape, and I've been a happy collager ever since. It has just made my life way easier in terms of collage. Okay, see what happened here? I didn't want that to happen. Or the legs rising. I want the legs to rest on this rail. And when that happens, when you do the tucking technique, it's not a big deal. I mean, I can adjust it. I just don't want to rip my ephemera, either one. So I'm very gently lifting this packing tape up so I can move it again. I have to remove the packing tape off of both the Griffin and the back of our background. Okay, let's try this again. No harm. Everything's good. Everything's still intact. But this is how I wanted it. I'm not sure why it moved, but it did move. I want to make sure those legs are there. And here is, well, this could be another case of the double-sided tape also. Usually I have drafting tape also. Oh, got a little piece right here. It's a little dirty, but it should do the trick just to hold it in place until I get this here. Oh, you know what I can do? I'm just going to attach the head part to the background, which means I'm probably ruling out that sunflower. So now it's going to stay. I don't really need this drafting tape. I'll just leave it there for now. Come back. Another piece of packing tape. If you don't get heavy-handed, and that's a good thing because you can always come back and make adjustments if need be. The other thing that I love about the packing tape is if I don't like this either, you can always come in with your X-Acto and just gently loosen it or create a perforation, drawing your blade across that packing tape and it comes right up. You can always replace the packing tape. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, she's different. She's a Griffin. Okay, so remember I was thinking about this. I can always lift this up because it's secure now. I can lift this up very gently. You got to be gentle with tape. If you use that as your adhesive with Collage, it has a tendency to really stick because that's its job, and it might rip your piece, your hard work. I'm going to go ahead and finish this and see how I feel about it and see if it looks good. I think the fussy cutting was a good idea and I like the way this came out. It's kind of bizarre. I also like this background, maybe as an additional background, maybe not. I have another idea, something I want to play with, maybe off camera. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to let this rest. I like the Griffin idea. I think we are on to something, maybe a new series. I don't know. But it's hard finding the animal bodies, to be honest with you. The animal bodies being a certain way, and then the models' heads being a certain way. That is the only solution I can come up with. You have to do some measuring, figuring out how it's all going to come together, and if it comes together and it makes sense, like it was meant to be like this all along. So I'm going to do something else off camera, but when we come back, we will give you a close-up, and you can let me know in the comments what you think. But I am so glad you joined me on this little collage journey today, and I will see you in the next video.